And we need to find a way of bridging those who are on it now and those that technology is leaving just a bit, so that we come to a compromise of understanding what the current generation are doing and what we used to do before. We need to bridge it and try to understand it. Because we may take the children right now, the young boys right now, to be on offense, while for sure it is us to bridge it. Number 2, bridging the police force and the police service. There was a police force, and we all underwent a lot of issues with the police force. Now, with the 2010 Constitution, we have police service. Yet, probably the leaders we have in the police service now underwent all their training during the police force. And therefore, trickling down effect, we may still have police force instead of police service. It's a bridge we need to cross. We have a bridge of poverty and perception. There is a lot of poverty in this country, and there is perception of it also in this country. We need to work so hard on the bridge of how to view poverty versus perception of it. What do we perceive of a poor person? What do we perceive of a rich person? What is the real richness and what is the real poverty? And what about the perception? It's a bridge we need to cross. And finally, we have to bridge in what has come in as joblessness and youth expectation. The country's economy, the joblessness that exists, and the youth perception. Where do we stand with our youth today? What is the economic activities that they are doing or present for them, and how do we bridge that? And the last one I would comment regarding the demise of my late nephew, Albert Ojwang, is bridging the raw power, reasoning, and morality. Everybody's just okay until some power gets into him. And this is a serious issue that we need to address in this country. What is the extent at which you are powerful? Where is your power? Where is the bridge between the power you have and the reasoning that should go with it? Is there morality? It's also a big challenge to the church. Where did morality go to? How do we bridge morality and raw power? Thank you so much.
Okay, asante sana Bwana John kwa mambo ya eulogy. Tumesapata habari jinsi ambao kijana alizaliwa bila amekuwa hadi mahali ambao amepata kufika. So in this special time, before I give others that will be able to give tribute, we'd love to hear from the family. I know that we have different groups that will be able to give a minute each to speak. So I want to bring in, first of all, the person that has been very close and the spokesperson of the family to be the first one to give the tribute. Na mujue tuko church. Yeah, mujue tuko church. Mujue tuko church. Na tuwe church tuko na program na mpango. So Ken, please, can you come over? I'm told you are the first one to give the tribute.
Good morning, everyone. As I begin, I want to invite Brother Julius to come over. There's something he's going to say after us. I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has come to mourn with us. My heartfelt and sincere condolence first goes to the immediate family members and to every one of us, my brother, and Evening, and Minomondi. I want to pray that God may give you strength. At this time, it is only the strength that comes from God that can console. It is only God who can give peace. It says, the strength and peace that no one can give. May God give you that peace. I want to say thank you, because a lot has been said and a lot will be said about Albert. But mine is to thank all of you. I want to thank, as I said, all of you, but I want to single out a few who have stood with us. On that fateful day, I remember when I was called, when our brother Charles called me and told me Meshach has met a tragedy, and I was needed to rush where he is and to be with him. On that very first day, I could not reach him because we had friends who had taken control and was taking good care of him. And the following morning, when I rushed to City Mortuary, where we were to have the autopsy, I was happy that I found him in safe hands. And you know who the safe hands was? I found our brother Reverend was with him. Thank you so much. More than being a brother, more than being a reverend, you are brother to us. And I saw that when you came to give a helping hand to our brother who was at the lowest point. And at that moment, I may want to say this. You know, I'll speak. We are being told you are not going to speak. So I'll speak a little longer because this is part of the family. I found, for the first time, I thought that civil society and this human rights movement, I thought it was a thing of the TV and Manamando and the street service. But that day, I found a different face of civil society and human rights movement. In a company of Reverend was a representative of IMLU. And I was surprised. I saw a heart, and I said to myself, if God will give me resources sometime, I will donate to this movement because they support. And Brother William from IMLU, wherever he is, may God bless him. There are several of them which I want to say. IMLU, I have said, Defenders Coalition. There are several of them. I want to single out two gentlemen that will represent all the movements that I am talking about. I remember our brother, Professor Gola. He was right with us from day one. I remember Brother Halid. I don't know where Brother Halid is. He told me he was going to come here. He was right there with us. I saw many of them. There's Brother Onjiro. There are several of them. There's a time when we were looking, we were about to have autopsy and things did not seem to move. They came in our support. And now let me mention this. They did not come in their tribal tagging. All of them, I saw Luos, I saw Kikuyus, I saw Kambas, I saw Luyas, and I was like, what is happening? They came to defend us. They came to mourn with us. They came to support us as Kenyans because they believed that we are one. We are one nation, we are Kenya. Thank you all for those who came. There are those who supported us. Up to now, I still receive notifications of support in my M-Pesa. People gave from their hearts. There are those who gave 1 shilling. There are those who gave 50 bob. There are those who gave 100. There are those who gave 500. There are those who gave 10,000. There was a day we were at the airport. Then one gentleman came and he noticed us. And after conversation, he asked me, I gave him the pay bill, and he sent me 3,000 right there. One day we were at the LMS. LMS is the guest house for the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Somebody came, we were having a meeting, and then a gentleman just came and he said, I want to support this. And he asked for the pay bill, and he sent 10,000 right there. So I saw, because I was at the heart of this all, I saw Kenyans coming together to support the family. And I want to thank all Kenyans, all who gave all their support. I want to single out two other people who came in handy. This lady with a heart of gold, she's called Anifa. On that day one, she came, and she realized that we needed to begin raising of funds. And immediately he helped us to set up a pay bill. Anifa, wherever she is, may God bless her. The following day, we had another wonderful guy. He's called Eric Omondi, who went out of his way and appealed to the Kenyan public, and we saw support. May God bless you wherever you are. Maybe just next time, if you come to me privately, I will advise you that in the next situation like this, you too must find a way of working together, because we are one Kenya. I want to say this. As a family, we are mourning. And sometimes a mourning person can embarrass you. There are several ways. I remember one day we were talking to my shemeji, and she made me laugh, though we were all mourning. She said that, I'm mourning. I can decide to put on a sackcloth. We were trying to ask her to please eat. She said, please, you don't understand. I can take a whole week without this your food. And that is my part of mourning. So listen, people, a mourning person can sometimes embarrass you, because sometimes the mind is not stable. So if we have embarrassed somebody in one way or another, we want to ask that you bear with us and you forgive us. Now, this I want to say because it's the pain of my heart, and I want to speak to every Kenyan. Because I wish that what happened to this boy did not happen to him. We have had stories of people being thrown in the rivers and they are found. But this one was not thrown in a river. This one was picked from the father's hand. And he was butchered. I'm praying to God, and I'm praying to every Kenyan who is listening. I pray to God that this may not happen to somebody else. I want to also, in the same breath, extend our sincere sympathy and condolence to the families. I know, just a week after Albert was brutally butchered, I saw with my own eyes a police officer shooting a gentleman who was just a mask seller. That pricked my heart a second time. I pray that this should not happen again in this country, our motherland, Kenya. I hope that those who are in the business of killing people may make this an end, even as we seek for justice. On the same breath, I want to say to the families of those who lost their lives as a result of joining our family in seeking justice. I know some were battered, some were beaten badly, some were killed. To all those family, our family is sending our condolences to you. We are in solidarity with you. And we thank you for coming out to defend the rights of men and women, one of them lying before us today. Maybe the government should come out clear and speak to us. And speak to us in a way that we may understand what really happened to Albert. Because there's truth somewhere. Somebody somewhere knows exactly what happened and who did what. We want to hear that clearly stated. We want to know. Right now, the matter is in court. Will it be like the stories we have had? Will it be like the stories we have had? When we had the case of Robert Ouko, I was still a young boy. Up to date, I don't know whether it was concluded. When I was in high school, Odhiambo Mbai died. And I remember when he was brought to be buried, we went there as a student from the high school. Up to now, it's not clear to me that that has been concluded. And so many, just the other day, it's hardly a month between the death of Ongondowere and Albert. I know our time is up. But maybe the government should do something more. And maybe our courts should pronounce themselves. Maybe the justice system are for a selected few, I don't know. But it's my prayer that we may give hope to the younger generation coming before us that our constitution is what it means, a constitution that defends the life, as my brother said. To somebody, Albert was just amongst a group of bloggers who needs to be eliminated, and he succeeded, and this is what he does. But I want to tell you that the eye of God is never closed. The eye of God is never closed. It's open. The justice of God is the truest justice that you'll ever find. But the good news is God has a power to forgive. I want to welcome my brother to say a word before we leave. But I say this again. Thank you to everyone who has come to mourn with us. May God bless you. May God shine his countenance upon you. And the journey is still on. We are going to go home tomorrow, and we are going to have a burial on Friday. So because of time, I want to end at that point. I want to invite our able family lawyer to speak to some issues that needed to be aired before, because we know after the sermon, we may not have time to speak. So I want to welcome our lawyer to kindly speak to some issues. May God bless you as you mourn with us.
Praise the Lord. Bwana sifiwe kanisa. Amen. My name is Julius Juma. I wish to start by saying that the last 1 month has been very difficult for me